to work on those relationships on the outside, to get to the end line and look for those cutback crosses.
We want fans that receive. We want to goals. We want to get them on our side. And then on the flip side is when we don't have the ball.
On the road. Underway in LA. Galaxy, Dallas. Big time stakes as we get into the dog days of summer in Major League Soccer. Fighting hard to try and win it back. Justin Hack, though, cleans it up. Wide for Paisel. Paisel loses out. Christian Campus in front towards Mesa. Carson Kowski gets there. Then it's awkward off the foot of Johansson. Back to Dallas. Delgado loses out.
Won all three iterations of the tournament, so it should be a little bit difficult to pass that.
Here's Musa turning towards goal. Musa weaving his way around. Musa! Easy enough for Marcinkowski.
That was much too easy defensively from the LA Galaxy. A pass from the center back.
Delgado in swinger. Urhogide over the bar. Big Osaze Urhogide gets up for it, can't knock it down.
Hey, we are live. Welcome back to the Afterburn Soccer Show, folks. My name is Nathan. You can follow me at Afterburn Soccer. Waiting on my good buddy Jose to pop on here in just a moment as we get the show going. These live shows, life is busy. It's hot. We got a heat wave going out here on the West Coast. But that doesn't mean we don't bring the energy and we don't have some fun, and especially when you have a weekend like we did. I got my kit on, got my hat on, just because FC Dallas are absolutely rolling through Leagues Cup play after 2 games. Unfortunately, because of how bad Liga MX are. Here comes Jose. Let's bring him in. There you are. Hey, Jose.
What's up?
Welcome to the show. We're just getting rolling here. Let's just get right into it. I mean, I'm wearing my kit today. I got, I'm pumped. I mean, we didn't have maybe high expectations. I wrote about that on Saturday going into the Leagues Cup. FC Dallas had a couple of away points before that, which is not a bad thing, right? But hadn't looked like they were clicking coming out of the World Cup break. So we didn't know how much energy, it looked like guys could still be a little tired, just a little, or working their fitness back into the field. And we just didn't know what to expect, right, about the Leagues Cup. And then, man, it's been fun. It has been fun to see FC Dallas take care of business. You can still see the rough edges that FC Dallas is working through, but to come after a 3 away game trip to get a couple of points on the road, coming at home in Mansfield and taking care of business against Querétaro, and then Chivas, really an away game in what were your thoughts about these 2 Leagues Cup wins for FC Dallas, Jose?
It was excellent rotation. I mean, like you said, honestly, the team has looked out of form coming back from the World Cup break. And I think I think we were starting to see some of the fans, we're all, as a whole, the SCD fan base is very pessimistic. So with them coming out of the World Cup, slow out the gate, you already had people hitting the panic button. And so this is a nice little reminder that, hey, this is actually, hey, Drogo, hi, buddy. A reminder that this is a quality team. I mean, they're not the most talented team out there, but Quill's got them playing to their strengths. And that makes everybody happy. I love seeing Nolan Norris out there basically looking like he's the answer for one of those spots that we've been, we're like, when are we going to get another center back?
Right.
I guess we're just going to build one.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I think this has been a great tournament after 2 games for some much maligned players. I mean, Ibeaga put on a great shift Uh, Kamungo is showing why he was missed. He drives you crazy 1 minute, and then he drives the opposition crazy the next. So it's nice to see some players rounding out. I've been I've been, of course, Kaike's biggest fan through this tournament. I think he's been just a destroyer out there when he has been out there. And of course, a reminder that Ramiro is such a key cog for this midfield. We all may think he's too slow. We may have our complaints about him, but you have to admit that when he's out there, that midfield simply just looks in control instead of what we see when he's not out there, which they're all over the place. So the guy's an excellent quarterback. I'm very happy to see him back and healthy, and of course, always nice to see Moreno and Farrington get some goals in. So all in all, I, this is already a win as far as I'm concerned. For nobody expected FC Dallas to do anything. 2 wins against two quality opponents. A trip to Mexico coming up on Wednesday. I got nothing to complain about. Win, lose, or draw in their next match. As far as I'm concerned, this has been a successful tournament for FC Dallas already.
Yeah, yeah. The couple of things that we're all kind of wrap our heads around because again, I don't think we were necessarily versed up on the Leagues Cup tables and the advancement systems. So and really, I don't understand why if MLS teams are going to just clean the clock of these Liga MX teams, like why more MLS teams don't advance in this tournament? Why not? Anyway, but hey, uh, but as Horse God there lets us know, Austin FC has a difficult must-win game, and then so there is a chance that FC Dallas, even though we're sort of on the outside looking in, will get a chance to kind of advance based on this next result, which is not going to be a gimme. Playing in Mexico is always difficult, but what a good learning moment for this team. What a good experience. I'm with you, Jose. If we don't get on to the next round, there's just a lot that this team can say, hey, we can build on this. We're good. We got talent here. We've got a style of play that is difficult when we're on for a lot of teams to face and talented teams to face. And so those are just some really confidence building moments for this team.
I think it goes to familiarity with the opposition. I mean, Mexican teams can't be all that impressed when they see FC Dallas and they're like, oh, this is a team that's just going to bunker and play defense and not be much of a threat. And then you've got Musa and all these, Valiente and all these guys coming at you, you know, disregarding possession, just trying to hit you as quickly as possible. And it's a shock to teams that haven't seen it before. And I think that's the one thing about this tournament is you're not, when you're in the US Open Cup, which I wish, of course, I wish FC Dallas would also participate in that, but you know who you're gonna run into. You're like, oh man, we have to play Kansas City in Kansas City. We're gonna play, these teams, good or bad, have already figured out how they're gonna play you, especially on the road. You're not getting that from the Liga MX clubs because they really have no respect for FC Dallas. They're coming out here thinking they're gonna bull rush us, and that plays to FC Dallas' strength. If Toluca comes out, I know they're a home team and they should be favored to win at home, of course. But FC Dallas has been one of the best road teams in MLS, and absolutely capable of walking out of there with points, provided that that first half is going to be a huge test because they're going to want to come out. Toluca's going to want to come out fast and make up for the loss against LAFC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm expecting a team that's going to high press FC Dallas, and that Dallas will get those opportunities with a team that's not going to bunker against them. Dallas loves teams that come at them. So it should be a fun game. Win, lose, or draw, I'm already proud of this team. And there's possibility, we all know that even if FC Dallas manages to get a win on the road against Toluca, they might still not advance. So brace yourself for that possibility.
Yeah.
But I always say, hey, if FC Dallas manages to win and doesn't advance, we can hold that up proudly. Uncrowned Leagues Cup champions or the I mean, you can have a lot of fun. It, I couldn't be more excited. Gives me
Right,
hope for
right.
the rest of the season.
Yeah, I love that you earlier mentioned like Nolan Norris. I think there are some of the highlights, some of the storylines out of this is one Valiente getting his first goal in FC Dallas kit, which I sort of had to pause and go, wait, really? Because he's been a nice addition. He's been very active. He's had some assists.
Hmm.
I love what he has brought to the team. Yeah, he is not the guy. He's not the number 10 that this team would probably love to have, but he's a very good player, very good
Hmm.
compliment, a hardworking guy, has just slotted in. And so for him to get that little reward, hopefully it just opens up the dam. It opens up the flow to get a bit more going uh, as the season unfolds. But Nolan Norris, I think this new cycle, and I know he's probably going to get Olympic call up. He's probably going to be in the mix for the U23 team, which he
Hmm.
deserves. But he's got to get a look from Pochettino with the senior team. I just the way he's playing, but of course. I just want him to keep building on this, his confidence, and he had him a game against Chivas. He was all over the place, and some of the challenges I thought he was a little bit late to, he was right on time. It was just some gutsy play. I love that kid. Also, Jonathan Sarah, you know, bring in a new
Lights out.
keeper. I mean, but just this guy, it's like, man, uh,
Talk about claiming a starting spot. I mean, he has basically emphatically claimed that position. You're talking about somebody who's you know the door's been left open for him, and he just kicked it in. And honestly, it would be shocking to me that even when Daniel gets back, that they will give him back the starting job if Sirach keeps playing lights out.
yeah,
So and that's the beauty of that trade, though. Is if Daniel isn't going to be the guy, you don't have to extend him at the end of the season. So it should be. It's. I'm ecstatic. I mean, it's a great problem to have. Three quality goalkeepers on your roster.
that's right. And yeah, and they're going to be pushing each other. So yeah, the defense has been great. I just there's so many good things to see, and I was feeling a little glum from those three away games to start. I was hoping to see the team looked a little snake bit. So and they haven't even been perfect in these two matchups in
No,
League Cup. So it's like, hey, just getting the goal in, getting these opportunities coming to this team. I just think you can see the possibilities for them to keep building. So it's really good stuff. And by the way, keeping along some of that conversation about this team, let me switch my graphics here a little bit.
I just wanted to point out that of the teams still left, Dallas is currently six. Of the teams ahead of them, because they have to finish top four, so that would require them to not only get a win at Toluca, you know,
Right.
start playing your Mission Impossible music there, dun, 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 because there's only two teams ahead of them that have tough opponents, and that would be Austin, of course, against America, and that would also be Chicago. Chicago's playing. I think they're playing Cruz. Who are they playing? Cruz Azul, who's
Hmm.
undefeated. One of the few remaining undefeated teams for Liga MX, and so that's I'll be cheering. I'm pro MLS as the next guy, but Chicago and Austin got to go.
Yeah.
And I don't even wish them to lose. I'll be happy when they get a draw. So
Hmm.
you guys get a draw, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
So I'm
All right.
excited. I mean, it gives you a reason to watch other games. You get to hate watch
Hmm.
those teams. Get to hate watch against LAFC also because they're at 5 points. So if the two teams ahead of us manage to lose, then getting a draw and 2 points also might get you through. I'd have to know I don't know what LAFC's goal differential is, but I'm fairly sure we have a higher two. Yeah, we'd win the goal differential in that if it came to a tiebreaker between FC Dallas and LAFC. So it's
So
all
watch these
really
games;
tight.
they're fun, and there's been a
They're
lot of
fun.
goals. There's been a lot of
They're fun.
goals.
I think some have been more fun than others. I mean, the crowds have been fantastic for some of the games, and others not so much. But still, I think overall, anyone trying to compare this to U.S. Open Cup it's they're not even in the same ballpark. They're two completely different. And despite what people may say, the crowds have been respectable. You're talking midweek games are always a tough sell. So
Yeah.
I think the more you play this tournament, the more in popularity it'll grow. We have to have more games in Mexico because that's what's going to benefit MLS in the long run is having teams go to Mexico City, to Monterrey, Guadalajara. There's a reward there. There's a reward there for these players in playing in those tough environments. I mean, it's going to get you ready for the playoffs. You know, having playing in tough crowds.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think right now, with the bulk of the games being played in the U.S., I don't think a lot of Liga MX teams are taking this tournament seriously.
Hmm.
They traditionally have always thought of tournaments held in the U.S. as a good excuse for them to go hit the balls, and they're playing like it. So I don't think this shows that MLS is better. It just shows that the MLS teams are taking it way more seriously than the Liga MX clubs.
Hmm.
And let's be honest, um, it's the best 18 teams from MLS last season against the 18 clubs from Liga MX. Their bottom of the table teams are playing like bottom of the table teams. So really, look at their top half teams are really uh, the teams that really give MLS problems. The guys at the bottom, not so much, except for Juarez. I guess Juarez, for some reason, has won two games. It's so that's the only counter to my argument there. But for the most part, once we get more games in Mexico, I think it'll even out. But losing all these games to MLS has got to be, whether they admit it or not, has got to be upsetting the Liga MX team. So I think this will help uh,
Yeah.
future rivalries. I mean, the teams that FC Dallas has beaten from Liga MX, you're talking about Querétaro, Chivas. They also, what's it, Mazatlan the last time.
Hmm.
I mean, those are teams that would be like circle their calendar if FC Dallas ever came to their stadium to play. They'd be like, oh, we're gonna get you back. So I'm saying that's how you build rivalries is through these tournaments. They may be a joke today, but if this tournament's still going 10 years from now, you'll see that animosity and whatnot between the leagues spilling onto the actual clubs. So you can't build it overnight.
Good stuff. I mean, it's been fun, and like said, maybe a lot of fans are. It's fun to see FC Dallas in this competition and to play, to test themselves against some other competition, and that helps some marketing. It just helps build that up. But maybe our expectations were low, and so FC Dallas has knocked this thing out of the park, and it's been fun. It's been just fun to watch this team put their heart into it.
People also, I want to say that marketing wise, this can also be good for its Dallas because let's face it, you're a Liga MX fan, you're a Chivas fan, or something like that, or maybe you're a Chivas hater, and you're like, FC Dallas, they're bums, and now they've beaten Chivas. There's a lot of Mexican fans that dislike Chivas because of for rivalry reasons. You know, you may get those fans say, hey, this team was good enough to beat Chivas. Maybe I should go watch their games. Maybe they're not the bums that Latinos that watch Liga MX think of all MLS teams. So I think in the long run, this adds up. I think it's
Mhm.
they need to find a way to sell their performance. And honestly, I think social media is doing it for them. I mean, the banter between the Chivas fans and the diehard few FCD fans has been great.
It has been great. Well, continuing our FC Dallas theme here, there has been player movement. Obviously, Holstad has been loaned in. We've gotten to see him in some of his minutes, and he looks like a USL championship level player, getting his first taste of action with MLS, and he looks like he's a nice piece to have in the mix. We'll just see. This is like a
He
nice
looks
audition for him these next few months to see, if he can get his foothold.
he looks like a solid bench piece. I mean, you have to admit that when Ramiro is not out there, okay, you need somebody that has a defensive midfielder mentality. Why not just get an actual defensive midfielder? Which, of course, we would rather be a DP or a TAM level player, but at least they're acknowledging that that is a position of need by bringing in another player to give Ramiro some rest.
Yeah.
And I think he's looked good. I think he's looked good. He of course he's not going to be a world breaker. He's here to play solid defense and be a good option off the bench. And I thought he looked good. He was out there against Painstill and some of these other players that you're like, oh my God, these guys are monsters. They're going to blow by him. And he held his own. And that's
Hmm.
all you really want. You want a guy that's going to give you quality minutes. And if he gives you that and he's doing that,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy so far from what I've seen from him.
Another roster news, Enes Ali's long tenure with FC Dallas came to an end. He's finally was sold, think, to a Spanish second division side. Good for that to end. We saw flashes of him with North Texas. Wildly, when I play Football Manager 2024, I haven't upgraded the new version yet, but Solly is kind of a beast in that game. Like, he ends up developing pretty well if you give him the minutes, but had a lot of
Because
potential. But nah, it just didn't really ever click. And
yeah,
yeah, yeah. The good that there's a chance that if he does turn it on, he finds a formation that fits him and everything. That hey, we can get a little FC also get some of that.
50% selling clause is what I
Yeah,
hear, and that means they got peanut. They sold him for peanuts and just slapped down a 50% selling clause, and honestly, that's the only way they're going to get their investment back is if he, hopefully performs well enough that he gets sold off and and if we get some of that sell on
yeah,
clause. We're not holding our breath, so anything we get for him is
it's great. Yeah.
is great.
The other rumor, right, nothing official, but that Dietzen is on his way out to a second division French side. And so that's also something we've been expecting, hoping that the
Yeah,
market was going to materialize for him. And again, it's probably going to be a very similar kind of deal. Uh,
I let me just say that while people are just saying, "Oh yeah, happy to see this guy go," happy to see this guy, people need to start paying attention to who they're going to. It's not like Dallas is selling them to some, you know, second division club in Mexico or some small club in Ecuador or something like that. These are players that we don't want that are still going to Europe. Second division in Europe is still good. And some people will flat out tell you that, the divisions they're going to will flat out tell you that they believe they're better in MLS. So there's literally people out here who are going, wow, decent going to what a second division French club you said? Oh, he's getting an upgrade.
yeah,
Same thing for NSLE, second division Spain. Let's not forget that there are fans, MLS haters, who will just stare at you and say, yeah, those are better leagues than MLS. And I'm just going to tell you, if we're selling our players that we don't want to European clubs of any level, I think this team's reputation has grown immensely.
right. Good point. That's a great point. Yeah, and Dietzen, I think Dietzen is a decent player. I mean, he's has World Cup experience now. He's an international. Um, I think it was just when they signed him. I'm thinking the plan then was that they were going to go to like two wingers, and so Dietzen would have been a wing competition in that setup, depth or a starter, someone to compete. And then, well, as Quill worked with this team and got more out of him at the end of last season, it was clear like that wasn't going to be in the cards. So he's just kind of an odd man out. It didn't quite work. They tried him at wing back, it didn't quite work. So
He
that
spent more
happens.
time on. He also spent way more time on international call-ups than he did with FC Dallas. That
Yeah.
didn't help either
Yeah.
for a team trying to break into the squad. But the truth is Salih and Dietzen are simply the kind of players that FC Dallas has always brought in, and that is they're always looking for a player that's a good deal that they feel is on the verge of breaking out. And unfortunately, you have to spend money to get those players if you believe they're going to take a step up. And it's FC Dallas has usually bought. When you watch the draft and they say best talent available, that's the FC Dallas shopping. You know, that's their mo.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily a player that's going to fit a particular need. There's a lot of players at FC Dallas. I'm not saying they don't get those. They do go after those, but when they can't get what they want, they'll say, "Okay, what's the best player available?" Okay, oh, we got three players that position. That's okay. Just sign him, and we can always sell him, or we can cut somebody else. And that's FC Dallas basically. It's best player available, and once they get away from that and start bringing in specifically targeted players, then that's when this team will take that next step. We're stuck right now. In all honesty, we're a mid-table team right now. That's punching above its weight because of their manager,
Mm-hmm.
and long may that live. But the next step is, hey, every player that's brought in fits a particular position in a particular need, and it's not a hey, let's just sign this guy and hope he pans out, which is what we're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it does at least crack the door open for FC Dallas to consider some additional movement, and I think we can expect them to be out there looking for that piece that they can bring in to sort of, help this team, that extra body, and let's not be unsure that we couldn't see another player departing, uh, and could see some action within the league. It's just going to be interesting to see what FC Dallas does. So at least with these movements, it does kind of help clear out the roster a little bit, create some opportunity for FC Dallas to look for those pieces that are
Speaking
going to help
speaking
them.
of speaking of moving players, I think it's time for FC Dallas to exercise their buyout of Julio. This guy, he's got a world of talent, but the guy is soft as China. He gets given a spot. He gives that start. We're all like, why is he starting up top? And he could make it out of the first half. He couldn't even make it out of the first half of the first half.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. It's at some point, every minute that he's getting, it's minutes that you could have given to somebody else, to Moreno, to Farrington, one of the young guys. But right now, I think you're not gonna be able to sell him if he keeps getting injured. If that's the game plan is, hey, he'll break out and and then we can sell him. If he keeps getting injured, he's not gonna get sold to anybody. So I think it's hopefully they're considering that now. It's like, all right, sorry, but we have needs, and needs require openings because the two players that we're talking about, Enes Salih and Dietzen, I believe they only really open up one spot because one of them is the spot that opened up to sign the kid from USL.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so if Dietzen is sold, that's going to free up one spot, and then who's to say they won't just give it to one of the North Texas kids, you know, like Swan, giving move him up the roster.
Yeah. And speaking of Swan, let's go ahead and shift over there and talk about North Texas. Man, that was a
I
good.
brought him up. I brought
You
him up for a
teed that
reason.
up. You teed that up, but after that disappointment against Ventura County, which I was there for, a 6-1 just drubbing, a good old classic beatdown. North Texas got some home cooking. They came back home and in Mansfield and bounced back with a big 3-1 win over Tacoma Defiance. And boy, there were some fun goals in this one. In fact, I pulled the. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Um, the Daniel Braun set piece. Oh well, darn it!
Oh yeah, yeah. The
I don't know why that didn't work. Okay.
well, it's behind us. It's behind our pictures.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Okay, that's not working either. All right. Let me get it right here. I can do it this way. But yeah, what a nice um,
Another free kick for
what
North
a
Texas.
beauty.
Can they take the lead for the first time on the
Of
evening?
a free kick,
Hayden
and you
East
also have Slade Starnes getting his
Daniel
first
Barron.
North Texas
It
goal.
is Barron!
It just felt like again,
Gorgeous.
yeah. I mean, just Gall was ecstatic after the game with the performance, and of course with these moments of brilliance. You know, and after what that had happened in Ventura County, you could see some of his teammates just going, "How did he do that?" What a wicked ball! What a unsavable Golazo there. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, let me see if I can get back out of here now. There we go. Just a needed performance for this young side after that disappointing loss. So they get the win. Again, home cooking is helpful. They have another 3 matches at home coming up, so it's a good chance for them just to build on that, build some points, try to get back in the thick of things in MLS Next Pro. And you see the talent over and over again that this team has, that they have these young guys. It's just about getting them to put it all together. And I do want to say, Alvaro Augusto, he was called up to the senior team. He was with them in the Leagues Cup
Mhm.
as bench depth. Probably a good thing because he's been getting regular minutes with North Texas, but I think maybe that's a project that's also kind of nearing some of its end of
Yes.
he's had a couple of opportunities and he hasn't looked completely terrible here and there, but at some point you've got to start pushing in and making a case for first team minutes for a guy like him. And when you're playing with North Texas, you're getting starts and then you give up 6 goals defensively, like something's not working for this guy. So but Caleb Swan did get the call, did get the start, and looked great as usual for North Texas. They miss him when he's not there. I mean, he's such
I
a
wanted to
boss of
say
that
that
midfield.
I want to say that he's the missing piece for that squad. It just looks like a completely different squad when he's out there. And honestly, as soon as I saw the starting lineup and I saw he was on there, my confidence in them getting results just shot through the roof. And I'm just being honest with that. He needs may be the guy that is the breakout scoring guy that is getting all the headlines. But Swan is is the engine for that team when he's out there. He's only played like 6 matches with them, and I think they're 4-1-1 in those matches, and the one loss being that one bizarre loss against Sporting Kansas City 2.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that
Yeah.
odd loss? They had crushed them before, and then they went and dropped the 1-4 loss against them. It was just wild. Other than that, that was early in the season, by the way. So yeah, he's a player that definitely they need to find more minutes. And let me say something, by the way. With the win, uh, North Texas is currently in 10th place, but they have 2 games in hand. If they were to get, if they were say to get 2 wins, I'm not saying they will, and even those 2 games in hand, if they get 2 wins, they would actually jump all the way up to 5th place
Mm-hmm.
with 2 wins. And I only bring that up because there's only 8 games left in the season. 6 of those are at home.
Or at home for this club. Yeah.
Home. So this is a team that when I was saying Mansfield Stadium could hopefully turn the tables for turn it around for them. That's very much a possibility. It's a team that can, as long as they keep getting results at home, preferably wins, 2 points, if possible, if it goes to a draw. As long as they don't get any losses and get results at home, not only will they make the playoffs, they can climb up the ladder and be one of the top 4 teams. That's still on the table, but they're going to need Swan out there, for most of those games. This is the time if you're going to make a run, keep your best North Texas players with the team. I mean, I get it. With the FC Dallas has a tough stretch right now, and so some of those players will have to travel from time to time. They are, after all, in the Leagues Cup roster, but you're gonna have to decide. Is Swan, is he gonna get minutes with the senior team, and if not, would he be better off served helping North Texas, who's currently outside the playoff picture, get into the playoffs?
Hmm.
And more importantly than that, secure a home playoff match in Mansfield, because that's what I think. If you're trying to bring in the crowds, they want to see winners. Everybody wants to see a winner, and getting a home playoff match in Mansfield, I think, would be massive for this team.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I think it's favorable. I think they got a chance, and of course, not going to be a cakewalk. They play Timbers
No,
2 this coming weekend, and Austin, who have been one of the best teams in MLS Next Pro.
yes, they've
You
been
know,
very well coached, very very. I mean, they've definitely been uh, flying on all cylinders. Austin, whenever we've played them, and yeah, tough opponents, but like I said, it's an actual home field advantage, and I'd like to see that become a regular thing. I miss the days where you could pretty much guarantee. It was shocking if they didn't get a win at
yeah,
home,
yeah.
and it'd be nice to get back to those days.
Well, let's start to wind the show down and do some match predictions here, as we like to do as we close the show. I mean, just so the feast of soccer has been great. I'm just excited this Leagues Cup. It's just been so much fun, and I just want these guys. I mean, Logan Farrington. We didn't say enough about him. His beauty,
Oh yeah,
calm on the ball. We just see this guy, what he's capable of. Signed a contract extension. He deserves it. And it just seems like for him, it's just all about figuring out how to get a little more consistent. Just how to get a little more consistent when he gets the ball, when he gets in those opportunities. And he may just be a streaky kind of backup striker and can be good, can carve out a nice career doing that. But I just hope he continues to put it together. But it's such fun to
I,
see all these guys. Yeah,
I was excited to see some of the contract extensions like Shaq Moore. I mean, Moore, Urogide, and Norris look like the three guys we need if you're going to be running a three-man back line. I think those three guys can gel into a formidable back line by MLS standards. So
hey, and I got to say this too, because I have been a bit of I have been a bit down on him, but Herman Johansson,
Johansson,
he was fired up this on Wednesday night. He was fired up. He was getting in players. He was yelling at his teammates, and I don't think any of us would say he was costing the team points, but we sort of were expecting a bit more from him.
I
We
think we're
thought this,
expecting more. Yes,
yeah, but
for you to pay that much for right back or left back, teams just don't spend at those positions. And so we had high expectations. He did come from Swedish champions, and I think the Liga MX matches show that where his value is against international opposition. You need somebody that has international experience and can handle and deal with opponents that you simply don't have much, experience playing against. I think a player with his kind of international experience is more suited to dealing for the unexpected. And it could also be we forget that some of these players take a full year to get used to the physicality and the brutal travel and heat and all turf, all that stuff that MLS throws at you that you may not have had to deal with. It can be very rough, and it could just be that Johansson is simply going through that right now at a high level, mind you, and we won't see the best of him till next year, or
yeah,
hopefully we see the best of him in the second half of the season.
yeah. because I thought this was a better game from him, and just seeing his fire, it's like okay, he's settling in, he's finding his role, he's and we'll just see, and hopefully uh, he just improves. So I just have loved it. I've loved League Cup just to see these guys get
Your
some minutes,
prediction
this
for Toluca
rotation.
is
But yeah,
your
let's do
prediction.
predictions. All right, before we get so yeah, let's start FC Dallas at Toluca, and then of course we'll be back Sunday night in MLS play. Unless I'll be curious if their matches get shifted around if they do advance. I mean, that'll be something to keep an eye on. But we'll be down in Austin playing against Austin, I believe. I will double check that really quick. Um,
I want to be a homer, and I want to predict a win, and I will certainly be cheering for it. But my prediction is going to be a 1-2 loss at Toluca. Toluca, they may have lost a match, but that match wasn't at home.
mm-hmm.
That match against LAFC was not in Toluca like the Seattle match where they just stomped Seattle. And I don't think FC Dallas gets stomped in Toluca, but that's going to be an intimidating place to play at. And I'm hoping that FC Dallas finds a way to come out of there with a win, but I will not be surprised if it's a loss because Toluca is a class. They're a class team, and they're a formidable team at home. And
Right.
a draw, any result of any kind against Toluca in Toluca will be a massive result for Dallas. And
Yeah.
a win there would be a massive result, even if they don't advance. And I think FC Dallas is good enough to do it, but being able to do it and actually doing it are two different things. So
Yeah, I'll go a little more positive and go with a draw, 1-1 draw, but I do think FC Dallas is gonna have to grind this one. I just think that their defensive confidence is just such a good thing right now. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna find a way
I'm
to thwart Toluca a bit, but and they're gonna find a goal. And it may be a Sam Sarver special, maybe some kind of moment late. But
so the question though is does Quill take this match more seriously, or does he take the MLS match more seriously? Because they're both big time matches,
I know.
and he can't. And mind you, he's gonna have more games. Excuse me. Sorry. Um, he's got a game like every 3 days
Yeah,
for
it's
like
gonna be
several
tough.
weeks. So it could be simply he has to pick and choose
Hmm.
who's which team and I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough schedule. I'm uh, I'm excited and worried all at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go for the right, but I'd love to see a draw. I'd love to see a win. I'd love to see this a clean sheet, which would be such a
I'm
massive
gonna
statement. And
so
we'll
I'm
just
going 1-2 loss against Toluca, but then 2-1 win uh,
okay.
on the weekend. Is that Austin we're playing?
Yeah, it's at Austin. Yeah, and
Oh,
I'll go with a
sorry,
2-1 win as
I meant
well.
three. I meant 3-1.
Okay, all right.
I got 3-1 because I know Austin's playing great, but f those guys.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 win at Austin. I think this team bounces back. Um, and rotate some guys. I think they're trusting their depth, and that's a good thing. North Texas, meanwhile, will be back in action. Oh my gosh, this week again at home on Saturday night against Portland 2 against the Timbers. Um,
It's a home game,
Timbers
right?
are above them in the standings. They're at that number 3 spot, so a very good team as well. But it's home cooking. It's home cooking.
I'll
Got to
take
get
the
the
home.
points in them. Yeah.
I'll go 3-1 North Texas again, back to back.
Yeah, I like the 2-1. I like it's a safe, it's a common score, but I think they're going to get it done as well. And I think we're going to see this pattern where they do give up a goal early, and but they claw their way back, they fight back and find the 2 goals. And I just want to see more heroic moments like we've seen, just the key guys stepping up, growing in confidence, and
I
claiming this run.
I'm hoping that North Texas. Yeah, this is last week was the start of a run, and I I am getting a little excited about it. Like I said, I've always said Mansfield. Once Mansfield Stadium arrives, we'll start seeing what this team can do, and we're there. So I'm looking forward to seeing them get some W's at home.
Well, great. Well, we'll leave it there. Appreciate everybody. Of course, you can follow us on afterburn.soccer if you're listening on the podcast. We appreciate you if you're watching on the YouTube live stream. And, of course, try to post an article or two a week. Life is busy. I'll be doing a little bit of traveling this week, but enjoying this soccer, enjoying this time. A lot of good competition for us, Dallas. Jose, appreciate you. Thank you for jumping on, as usual, buddy. All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.